So Borderlands 2 was Game of the Year at Gamereactor Spain last year, and it's also sold more than 6 million copies now, and that's mainly Paul's fault, right? Congratulations for that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So it's your fault, right?
I guess so, and many other great developers on the team for sure.
So it's 1 year, it's been 1 year. Last year at Gamelab you had a booth on Borderlands 2 and people got to play the game right 1 month before release. So taking the view to the past, what's Borderlands 2 now?
That's a really interesting question. It's been really great to see the sort of growth of it and the reaction to all of our DLC. We just recently released our fourth.
Tiny Tina.
Yes, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep just came out this past week, so we're really excited about it. And as you said, we've been kind of supporting it for almost a year now, and that's very different than with Borderlands 1. I mean, we did our DLCs, but we've been constantly tweaking the game, patching the game, trying to add additional bug fixes and levels and like all these sorts of things to really make sure the game is alive and supported for the people who are playing for an entire year. So it's been a really interesting experience for us as developers to get into what that's like.
That's some great DLC support the game is getting 1 year after. Is that something you planned before, or seeing the success you try to expand that a bit?
We definitely had plans. The DLC for Borderlands 1 was extremely successful, and the first game wasn't really programmed to allow for DLC, so there was a ton of really hard work to get it working on the first game. So the second game, we knew that DLC was going to be a part of the business plan. So we engineered it so that it was much more robust in terms of allowing that kind of adjustment. So that's how we're able to do new characters and the kinds of things we weren't able to do on the first game. So there's definitely plans. The exact details of what we would do, not necessarily, but we wanted to allow us to have as many options for extending the game as we could.
So that's for Borderlands 2, completely addictive and DLC expanded. But what about the next step on the franchise? I guess you have like two choices. One could be staying true to the core and expanding on that a little bit. And maybe the other one is like exploding the thing and, I don't know, if following the same structure like new next-gen games like Destiny, with everyone connected online, like many more players and many more options and worlds connected together. Which way would you choose?
Oh, well, we haven't really decided yet. We're right in the midst of this console change, and so, we're starting to wrap our heads around all of that kind of stuff. So who knows where that will end up.
What do you mentioned the consoles. What do you think new consoles and new technology could add to the Borderlands formula?
That's really interesting. I think the SmartGlass stuff that both of the systems is supporting is interesting in terms of interface and hopefully allowing players a little bit easier access to some of the things in Borderlands. But again, we're still trying to wrap our heads around everything that those have to offer, and as we see what other games are doing, I'm sure that will inspire a lot of where the future might go in that way.
So your panel wasn't about Borderlands only, but I don't know if you've been teaching the young developers about that complex system behind the game system and the choices and the RPG elements, and what have you done?
Well, the talk today I did was sort of about the difference between designer stories and player stories. Designer stories being the plots and the scripted sequences that are in games, and the player stories being the ones that are when the game systems combine in interesting ways to create experiences that are unique to you as the gamer. And so it's a topic that I've been involved in all the games, that I've been really trying to, whenever I'm designing systems, I'm looking for those player stories, but it wasn't really something that I had the right terms and stuff until I actually was doing the research for this talk. So I plan on trying to utilize what I've learned and tried to tell people today back at the office to get a better language. I think that's something that that games and game developers, like the industry is still so young that we're just starting to understand how to talk about what it is that we're doing when we're making these designs. If you look at like the film industry, they have all kinds of terms and things that everyone in the film business just knows. So you can just say cinematography and they understand what that means. In game design, I think we still are kind of sorting out what those terms are, and every studio has different ways of describing things, and I hope that in the future with things like Gamelab and other conferences like this that we can get a more unified way of talking about games, and you guys can help as well by passing along that sort of thing.
For sure. I think Bioshock should have got a mention on your panel too.
Oh yeah, I talked a lot about Bioshock because its game systems allowed for so many of these sorts of player stories to occur. So yeah, I talked about Bioshock, and I even went into the Wayback Machine and talked about SWAT 4 as well.
So what's your personal opinion on Bioshock Infinite?
I really enjoyed it. I thought the visuals of the game were just simply stunning. And those first few hours when you're getting to know Columbia and meeting Elizabeth just, blew me away. So I really enjoyed it.
Yes, it's a closing one, and now that we're getting a bit more personal, how did the aliens case affect your team? Or did it affect your team in any way you can share?
Well, Aliens was tough, and we had a lot of people spend a lot of time and work very hard on it, and it hurts when people don't like what you do, but all you can really do is sort of buckle up and vow to do better and try to learn from what you did. So that's what the studio has been doing, and we're really excited moving forward, and I think the next things from Gearbox are going to be fantastic.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to play Tiny Tina. I haven't played that, and after that,
we'll see.
We'll see. Thank you.
All right, thank you.